Hi, I'm Diane, a skills facilitator at the 4-County Labor Market Planning Board. Today, I'd like to talk to you about labor market research and why it's an important part of how you can plan for your future career. When you're exploring what you want to do and what type of career you want to have in the future, 3 things are important to that discussion: skills, interests, and labor market demand. Skills and interests are very different things. For example, I have an interest in art, but I'm terrible at it. I like to paint, but it's a hobby. No one will ever pay me to paint anything. That's an interest. Now I have a skill in researching and writing. A skill is something I'm good at, something I've worked hard at, something I've been trained to do well. This is often the piece that requires education and experience. Let's talk about interests. What interests you? What do you want to spend your time doing? Answers to these questions will help you determine what interests you and what type of career would best suit your interests. There are lots of quizzes and inventories you can take online and in your classroom that can help you assess your interests. One way to start is to explore what you like at school. Which subjects do you enjoy and why? And can you explore careers that might be related to those interests? Skills are things you're good at and have learned or been trained to do well. Skills are usually acquired and developed over time. An example of a skill would be proficiency with a certain type of computer software or with using a particular machine or type of equipment. Your skills and the skill set you would like to develop are also an important part of how you look for future jobs. Which jobs use the skills that interest you? What would you like to learn to do or learn to do better? In many ways, you're already aware of your interests and you're learning to develop your skills. The third component of planning your future career is researching the labor market. Labor market demand is the piece we often forget about. And why is this so important? Let's say you've determined your interest and your skills and found the perfect job for you. What if no one will pay you to do that job? What if that job isn't available in your area? What if that job isn't in high demand right now or is a job that's predicted to decline or disappear? These are important questions to help you determine which career options will suit you. The labor market helps you understand things like key industries, trends, job demand, the hidden job market, and the local job market. These things are important to understand, particularly if you plan to live and work in your local community after high school. I'd like to introduce you to different websites where you can go as you begin to explore the labor market and the types of jobs that might fit your own interests and skills. These websites are places you can look as you begin to ask questions about job opportunities and where you may want to invest your time and education in the future. The first site I'm going to share with you is the Job Bank of Canada, found at www.jobbank.gc.ca. This is a national site where you can narrow down where you want to look for available job postings, but most importantly, it can help us understand a job's overall prospects and outlook. The Job Bank is a place where employers can post jobs that are available. It's also a great place to do research about things like salary, job outlook, and skills in demand. We can conduct a job search, choose a career to research, and explore the trends for a certain career. Let's click on Explore the Market. If we look up nurse in Southampton, we'll immediately see the summary for registered nurse. We see things like description, wages, educational requirements, and the prospector outlook. We can click on any of these tabs to learn more. I'm going to focus on 2. I'm going to look at prospects in the summary and the job tab. Notice the rating for this position is rated 3 stars. 3 stars being the best outlook, the highest number of expected jobs due to things like anticipated retirements and increased demand. If we select jobs, we can see the total number of jobs available for each region in Ontario. Bruce Grey, Huron-Perth, makes up the economic region referred to as Stratford-Bruce Peninsula. You can compare this with other regions. This will give you a strong indication of where the jobs are and who is hiring. The second site I want to show you is the Ontario Job Profiles website, which gives us similar information for jobs that are in demand across Ontario. The top 500 jobs in Ontario each have a profile, and there are other interesting details here like the gender breakdown for jobs, average earnings, and the geographical locations in Ontario that have the highest number of people employed in that occupation. I also want to point out the career quiz link in the top of this page. Every job has different activities that use various aptitudes or abilities. Take this simple quiz to identify your strengths, and in about 10 minutes, you'll get a list of 10 jobs that may be a good fit for you. You can consider the results of this quiz in combination with other resources as you make career-related decisions. In the quick search bar, I search for welders. I can see common job titles, annual income, projected growth rate for the occupation, and the approximate number of total job openings in Ontario. The last site I'd like to show you is a local job posting site called Connect to Jobs. This site is a job aggregator that pulls together current job postings from our region of Bruce, Grey, Huron, and Perth counties. Even if you're not looking for a job yet, this can be a good introduction to learning what is available locally and what is in demand in our local job market. When you land on the main website, you have choices to go to the job board, the job map, or the Career Explorer tool. If we look at the Connect to Jobs job board, we can see a list of job postings in our region with the most recently posted job at the top. On the left-hand side of this page, you have various filter options. This can be filtered by location, by region, and by skill level. For example, if I only wanted to see full-time job postings in Owen Sound, I can do that. This can be a great place to research the types of jobs that are available locally, especially if you're interested in working in a certain location or in a particular industry. You can start to identify which companies are hiring, what types of jobs they're posting for, and then you can look more closely at the needed skills and education by returning to some of the provincial and national sites we looked at earlier. If I go back to the main page, another way to categorize job postings is by looking at a map of our region and determining how far you might be willing to travel for work or where you live currently and which jobs are available close by. In a rural region like ours, people often travel to neighboring communities for work, so it can be useful to see what is available in other towns and larger centers close to you. Again, this is a way to explore and perhaps find new jobs that interest you or learn a bit more about local companies that you may not have realized were in your community. On this site, on the left-hand menu, you'll see various drop-down boxes where you can set the parameters of your job search by skill type, skill level, full-time, or part-time jobs, for example. Along the left-hand side, you can also search for things like bicycle routes and transit routes available in some of our larger municipalities, and you can also identify locations for community resources such as libraries or hospitals. The last tool I'd like to show you is the Career Explorer tool. The Career Explorer tool can help us understand career progression or career laddering. Understanding how different occupations relate to each other can be stepping stones for career growth and help you think about your long-term goals and explore many different options. When you first click on the Career Explorer tab, these little circles will pop up. The dark blue circles identify occupations that are in higher demand in our region, and there's a small number indicating the number of current job postings. What this page can help you understand is the relationships between different occupations. If you move your cursor over one of the circles, I'm going to choose Industrial Electrician, you'll see lines that move out of it, connecting the circle to other circles representing other occupations. I'd like to give you an example of career laddering. Someone in healthcare may start as a personal support worker. With more training and experience, that person achieves the qualification to be a registered practical nurse. With additional training, that individual moves on to become a registered nurse. From there, someone may decide to enter the field of healthcare management. Sometimes understanding how different occupations relate to each other and how credentials can be stacked or laddered to increase your opportunities within a certain field can be a very helpful part of your research. In conclusion, labor market research is one part of how you can begin to explore your future opportunities. By looking closely at your skills and interests, as well as researching opportunities within the local labor market, you can start to identify the best jobs for you. Exploring the skills that are in demand locally, the opportunities you may have to build on your skills and create a long-term career path, and how important transferable skills can be used in multiple jobs across various industries can help you put together alternatives and possible plans for your future career. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you want more information, please visit the 4 Counties Labor Market Planning Board website at www.planningboard.ca.